Sorry, Paul, is there... yeah, I have started. Is there something that I am missing? Okay, so a typical example from social media. Israel's population of 8 million people comprises but 0.01% of the global population and is the cause of 99% of the conflicts that have occurred since 9/11. Right? Now, the Israeli government, through AIPAC and other Israeli lobbies, have a stranglehold on American politics. Now, when they say stranglehold, what they mean is has popular support among Americans. We'll cover that again later. They claim that they have a stranglehold on all branches and levels of the American government, that 96% of the 6 major Western news media outlets are controlled by them, and they totally control US foreign policy in the Middle East and elsewhere. They claim that through collusion between government and the media, collectively Israel has grossly influenced the hearts and brainwashed the minds of the Western world by spewing out pro-Israel propaganda on an almost daily basis. Now, with $22 trillion in debt and $6 trillion spent on wars since 9/11, do you feel you're getting max whack for your tax buck? I don't. Now, they claim that, of course, this money is being sucked up by Israel. Now, let's have a quick look at Islam and the problem with Islam. Since 9/11, there have been more than, this figure's a week old, 40,689 recorded Islamic Jihad terror attacks. In 2021, there were 53 countries, had 2,258 attacks, murdering 11,187 people, injuring 9,581. In 2020, 54 countries, nearly 2,200 attacks, murdering over 10,000, injuring nearly 8,000. 2019, 45 countries, 1,200 attacks, 6,800 people killed, injuring 7,500. 2018, nearly 2,000 attacks in 55 countries, nearly 12,000 murdered, 11,500 injured. This is because, well, Islam is a religion of peace. So understand, when you go back, and I've taken this back to 2015, you can see on average between 50 and 60 countries are attacked each year with thousands of murders. In 2016, you had 21,000, and 2015, 27,000 murders and 26,000 injuries. And we know that the actual figures are higher. Your thoughts, Thunderous?
That's nearly 100,000 murders in less than 10 years.
Yes, it's 105,475 murders in 15,000 attacks.
There's not really much you can comment on that. The numbers speak for themselves.
Yeah, and that is since 2015. Islamic terrorists, now, there are hundreds of Islamic terror groups. Right. Now, the Arab lobby has operated unseen. It has no visible public HQ like AIPAC. It operates by stealth. It is hardly known to the public and is therefore not discussed. Understand they got ahead of this whole of the discussion by trying to claim that there are poor sheep herders living in caves and therefore harmless. They have a policy of denying everything. James Zogby, we'll come to later, wrote in 1982 that there is no Arab lobby, which is a blatant lie. Their policy of deny everything. So at DePaul University, political science professor Khalil Marar contacted Arab American organizations for interviews for research on the Arab lobby, and he was told by these lobbying organizations that there is no Arab lobby in Washington, D.C., a blatant lie. Now, the Arab lobby is older than the Israeli lobby. In fact, the Arab lobby is older than Israel. The Arab National League of America was founded in the 1930s, before Israel even existed. In 1951, King Saud of Saudi Arabia asked US officials to finance a pro-Arab lobby to counter the pro-Israel lobby. This is 3 years after Israel was made a country. The CIA obliged him. The CIA bent over backwards to help King Saud. Your thoughts, Thunderous?
Speaks for itself. I've got no comments on this.
Okay. So now, let's look at James Zogby. Let's have a closer look at this guy. James Zogby is the founder, the president of the Arab American Institute. He's the author of Arab Voices, and this is him here, at the American University in Cairo. The mission of his group, the AAI, is to nurture and encourage the direct participation of Arab Americans in political and civic life in the United States. In other words, to lobby. Yet, he states bluntly, there is no Arab lobby. He is the head of multiple lobbying organizations. They represent the policy, desires, and the community interests of Arab Americans, read Muslims. They promote Arab American participation in the US electoral system as voters and as candidates. But there is no Arab lobby. The liaison between the Arab American community and the major national political parties. So he interfaces dialogue between American political parties, political groups, and Arab Americans, read Muslims, and yet there is no Arab lobby. So the foundation combats anti-Arab and anti-Muslim bigotry. In other words, they're Islamophobia merchants. Is that the same Zogby who does all the same political polls? Sergeant Grinch? Yes, that is the same one. Senior advisor to the polling firm Zogby International. Okay, he has a detailed biography, and if anyone wants to go there, I can click this link, but not today. He writes a weekly column that appears in 20 Arab newspapers. Now, I wrote this 2 years ago. At the time, it was current, so some of this information I have not updated, so it may or may not be current, understand? So some of it may slightly be out of date. So this is a host of a weekly calling discussion program called Viewpoint on Abu Dhabi television in the UAE. Now, the UAE is the single largest Arab donor it's the single largest political lobbyist in the US. They spend, like a couple of years ago, they spent 100 times more money than Israel alone. Just one country. Understand? Your thoughts, Thunderous?
No, the thing that was coming to my mind is when you look at the history of this, I was just thinking to myself, for a Middle Eastern country that has a representation of 0.001%, to have an influence in America the way it does, the things that was coming to my mind with the names like Stormy Norman Schwarzkopf, Caspar Weinberg, Henry Kissinger, you'd have a lesser percentage of representation in America than you would do in the Middle East, yet they're still able to infiltrate or control narratives within the American government. It's almost like the Jewish political lobbying went in first, and then by stealth, as you say, the Islamic lobbying came in later. You can almost see that has happened in England as well, where you're now seeing in a pronounced way more political movements or Muslims taking political office in the two countries.
Right. Sadlifian reports is Zogby is not a legal lobbyist. He doesn't have to be a legal lobbyist. He provides contacts. He uses influence. Understand? So I think Rockefeller was the one who made the statement. He says, when he stated he doesn't want to own things, he wants to control them. So he doesn't have to own an industry, he just needs to control it. Now, he's a member of the Council on Foreign Relations, which, as everyone knows, is there for you. He is also a member of the DNC, the Democratic National Committee. He's a co-chair of the DNC's Resolutions Committee. He is co-founder and chairman of the Palestine Human Rights Campaign in the late 1970s, and he's a co-founder and executive director of the American Arab Anti-Discrimination Committee. In other words, these guys are dealing with Islamophobia. He's the president of the Arab American Institute. James Zogby runs an Arab lobbying institute, yet claims there is no Arab lobby. So this man does nothing but front run for Arab Muslim interests and claims that there is no such thing as an Arab lobby. He is connected incredibly highly in the US government, but yet claims that Muslims have no influence. So let's continue. This is him, James Zogby, president of the Arab American Institute, DC Insider. Notice it doesn't say DC Outsider, it says DC Insider. This man is an insider who seems to be helping a lot of people that have strong Islamic interests in the US and very strong political interests. Let's continue. Okay, so I'm going to switch to some browser articles. So let me see. For instance, let's have a look at some of the things that we might miss. This is memory. This is an imam at a New Jersey Islamic Center workshop. Now, this is a very interesting. It's well worth watching. It's a short video. Well worth watching. He states here, they're caught on an open mic, and he says the Palestinian cause is Islamic, but it must be marketed as humanitarian to garner everyone's support. He then praises the BDS movement, right, which is the boycott of Israel, and he says Israel is likely to cease existing within 50 years. So understands, he says it's an Islamic cause, that Palestine wants to destroy Israel because it is Islamic.